So I'll put this in the description, but here in New England, we haven't been getting a spring season. Mother Nature has decided to skip spring for all of New England. The weather's been completely shitty. The temperature's been in the 30s and 40s. If we get a 50-degree day like today, we consider it like tropical weather. It's horrible. It's snowed. It's poured rain. It's freezing rained. It's been a nightmare. So I've had to put on hold all the really cool places I want to go to. I have this big list of all these awesome abandoned places and awesome forests and castle ruins and all that, but I have to wait until we actually get spring or summer. So until then, I haven't really been going to many really interesting places, such as today. Today I just went for a walk in the woods of this local forest because it was actually 54 degrees, which is amazing for this horrible spring we're having. So today I just went into the woods and did some geocaching, and I found a couple strange items in the woods that normally wouldn't belong there. So I did a little videotaping. Here it is. This is my kind of boring day in the woods. It's not as exciting as my other adventures, but those are put on hold until it gets nice out. So until then, this is just a random walk in the woods with some mildly interesting things I found along the way. I just found a geocache that I don't think I found before, but this looks a little familiar. I might have found this one before. Let's check. This logbook is all out of order. I can't tell if I've ever been here. So, let's just say I haven't. Oh, I think I'm going to take this cat. Interesting. Rhino, I think, yeah. Rhino? I don't know what this is. It's not a rhino. It's a weird looking animal. I'm going to take this cat because it's adorable. And I'm going to leave Darwin from the Traveling Wilburys. What was that show that Darwin was from? The Traveling Wilburys, what was their name? The Wild Thornberrys. That was it. Okay. I was way too old to watch that show, but I watched it anyway, and I forgot the name. But yeah, I'm going to leave Darwin from that show. Back in the hole you go. Covered up by a giant rock. Actually, it's not a giant rock. It's a fairly small rock. Okay. Let's get moving. And continuing on with the cars I found in the woods series, we've got this. This looks like it was a pretty sweet convertible at one point. Like I'm terrible with cars. Like a Mustang convertible. That's what it kind of looks like it was. Does the engine tell us what it was? Because there's no roof or any evidence of a roof. In the front, just looks like it was a convertible, but I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it's very old and has been here for a very long time. No, now it looks like a station wagon. Like those lights look like my mom's Pinto station wagon. So it went from a really cool car to a mom-mobile. I don't know what it was. You get 50 points if you can identify this car. And then there's another one. upside down over here. This looks like the scene of a horrific accident from like the 50s. It was a cool color though. It was like teal blue. Whatever this was. See? Teal blue. This must be a newer car because really old cars were never teal blue, I don't think. That's a very 80s, 90s color. But whatever, now it's flipped over in the forest. There's a lot of junk in this forest. I don't even know what this is. A refrigerator? Who knows? But it's, once again, something very old that has been here a very long time. And this is a really nice forest in a really nice town. So I'm surprised it's a dumping ground for vintage automobiles and refrigerators and other random appliances. I have to contort myself to get into the shot. So I love finding these things. These are the old town line markers. They mark the town line. This is where the town starts or finishes. I don't know. But yeah, it's the town line marker and it's in the middle of the woods and I love finding these things. But also it is a geocache. And the geocache is very poorly hidden. It is right at the base of this thing, so anyone can come along and steal it. But here it is. I think I've been to this one before. Maybe if I stand like this. I just got a phone call and it interrupted my video, so fuck you to the telemarketer that just called. But yeah, let's see if I've gotten this one before. And I hate how I have to, maybe I'll just do this. Now it looks kind of creepy. It looks like, whatever. Okay, so let's check the old log. Yes, I have. I was here on April 20th, 2017, and it is now April, I don't know, it's April 17th. Is it? Wow. It is April 17th, 2018. I was here almost exactly a year ago. That is hilarious, because I don't remember being here. But it was probably because in 2017, we actually got a spring in New England, so the trees were probably full and lush and wonderful, and it was probably like 70 degrees out. But anyway, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I left this Shopkin because my niece gave me a bunch of Shopkins to give in geocaches. And I gave them out last year, so I'm pretty sure I left this 1 year ago. I'm gonna take this keychain that's a surfboard, and it says Kahuna on the back of it. And I'm gonna trade it for this ninja, okay? Can you imagine walking along in these woods and then accidentally tripping and falling onto that? Falling on it ass first, and you get pretty much sodomized by that rusty spike. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that rusty piece of scrap metal in the woods is. But can you imagine if you were a jogger and you were just jogging by and you fell because you didn't notice it? That wouldn't be a fun day in the woods. That would be a terrible day in the woods. Maybe I should, like, there. Now nobody can get anally raped in the woods today. I'd love to know the story behind why there's this industrial cable wrapped around the base of this tree, and it has grown into the tree. And there's the rest of it. But I'd love to know what the purpose is of that cable being wrapped around that tree, because there is nothing around here that gives any clue to why that will be needed. This probably won't be cool to anybody but me, but I found a perfectly intact vintage Pepsi can. And I know that Pepsi has gone back to this design recently for nostalgia purposes, but this is a genuine 1980s, perhaps 1970s Pepsi can. You can tell by the top. It has the old-fashioned pull tab top, and it's very much rusted, and it is very much a vintage Pepsi can, and I think it's so cool. I might actually take it. I don't know why, but I like vintage things, and this is definitely in very good condition, minus that side, vintage Pepsi can. I just think that's cool, and it's just here under a rock in the woods. I'm just gonna call these woods vintage woods because this forest is where vintage shit goes to die. It's seriously the forest where people like to discard. Oh, is that a vacuum cleaner? I think that's a vintage vacuum cleaner. Huh. Yeah, it's a forest where people have a propensity to dump all their out-of-date appliances. So I've stumbled across this in the distance, and at first it looked like a tent, but now it looks like some kind of metal machinery object. I'm not sure what it is, but let's go find out. Yeah, is that a tent or metal? Okay, let's go find out, seriously. Oh, that's so creepy. It's a tent. It's a murder tent. It's a rape and murder tent. That is so creepy. It's just like sitting in this weird position, like it's on a hill. That is a hill, that's an incline. So why would anyone pitch a tent there by this rock? And there's a vernal pool in front of you. A swampy, gross vernal pool. And there's much more flat areas. You could have pitched a tent like right there. But instead, somebody pitched a tent here. And there's their pee bottles. That's lovely. And it looks like it's been here for a long ass time. I was gonna take a picture in it to be funny, but I don't want to be anywhere near their pee bottles because that's clearly what that is. I'm surprised it stayed up. It's not in a heap on the ground. Oh well. That was exciting. Not. I finally found something really cool in these woods. An abandoned, haunted mansion. Want to see it? Check it out. There it is. Isn't it cool? Isn't it amazing? This is actually in the woods. This is strapped to a tree, but this isn't as random as you think. This is actually a geocache. And the cache itself is right here. So this wasn't exactly a random thing in the woods. It's here for a purpose, and the purpose is it is a geocache. But it is a really cool geocache because it's a little mini haunted mansion in the woods geocache. So that was pretty cool. Here's another cool geocache. It's a tree decorated in the middle of the woods. and you're supposed to leave your own different ornaments. A lot of them have fallen, and there is the geocache. This is one of those washcloths that starts out as a piece of cardboard and you add water to it and it expands. But since it's rained and rain got in the geocache, it has already expanded. That's wicked gross. Cookie cutters that no one will ever use because they've been in this disgusting bowl for God knows how long. Okay, that's about enough of that geocache. Animal skull that someone has placed on this tree stump. I don't know what animal it is, but it's a very unfortunate animal.